Sometimes I've spoken about the concept of self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance, and some devotees think this is really strange. It has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. And it is absolutely false. It does. And it is extremely important. It's so important that, strangely enough, many of us don't recognize how important it is. And I want to explain what it is and why it's important. Some of you know that Prabhupada wrote a letter to Rameshwar, and he said, the highest service is to save the world, but higher is to save yourself. Saving yourself means, obviously, you care about yourself. You care about yourself enough to save yourself. Many, many times, Prabhupada would say, go back to Godhead in this lifetime. Don't stay. It's going to get horrible. What was he saying? If you analyze it, he was saying, care for yourself. Do what is good for yourself. Because Prabhupada could see that Maya was having us do things which were harming ourselves, self-destructive, which in Prabhupada's books he termed as self-envy, and in some places, spiritual suicide. We're doing things which are bad for ourselves. We have a choice how we treat ourselves. Have you ever said, I'll do it later? Have you ever said, I know this isn't good for me, but anyway, I like it? Or similar things. That's not an act of self-love. It's an act of self-cruelty, in a sense. I'm chanting my rounds. They're not good. I don't do anything to improve. There is this feeling like, what does it matter? I don't care. Something like that. Some devotees even go so far as to say, why would Krishna even care anyway if I'm Krishna conscious or not? And so when you look at this, you understand there has to be a certain level of self-love, self-compassion, self-care to get you out of bed early in the morning, to inspire you to do the austerities that are necessary to be Krishna conscious. Because sometimes it's difficult, but you do it because you care about yourself. And when you don't care about yourself, you just say, it doesn't matter, I'll do it later, who cares if I don't do it? Nobody's going to miss me if I don't go back to God, things like that. And so when you analyze it, you can see in your life, and I'd like you to analyze in your life, you can see where there may be a lack of self-compassion that's causing you not to act in a proper way. Addictions, for example. Addictions are defined as behaviors which are self-destructive, which we can't stop. So, what would help an addict? And we're all addicts of some sort, addicted to something that's not good for us, unless we're very Krishna conscious. Would more self-love help? Would more self-help care? Definitely. I care about myself enough to stop doing things which are bad for me. So if you're doing anything which is bad for you, or you should be doing something which is healthy for you and you're not doing it, it may be that you need to churn up a little bit of the self-love, self-care in your consciousness and stop allowing yourself to do things which are harmful for you. Take care of yourself. The last thing I want to say, and this is really interesting. As I began, I was saying self-love, self-care, self-compassion. A lot of devotees think this is like, what is this, some kind of Buddhist psychological thing or some kind of New Age this or that. But if I talk about devotee care, if I talk about appreciating devotees, if I talk about being more accepting of devotees, being more loving of devotees, no one will have a problem. Well, guess what? You're a devotee. I'm a devotee. So doing that for ourselves, is that different? Is that bad? Of course it's not different, and of course it's not bad, and it's not selfish. Because you can't really help another person unless you are grounded, stable, happy, inspired. And the more you are taking care of yourself, the more you will progress in Krishna consciousness, and then the more you'll be able to take care of others. So it all begins with self-care. We did a video on self-acceptance. It was really, really popular because it's a big issue. And I'm going to do another video on self-acceptance because I want to talk a little more about it because I think we need to get more into it. Hare Krishna.